Welcome back. We are now getting you an update on the bomb threats that have been received in the past few weeks on the various aircrafts that are flying in and out of the country. Now we are learning that Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology official have taken a virtual meeting with airlines and social platforms, especially the social media platform X, on the Hoax threats that happened on Tuesday evening, where Air India, Vistara, also CDSA, Meta, X were all present. These were stakeholders who were present. The government pulled up the platform X for its conduct during such times. And how are these tweets even allowed to make it out on the platform? Why are they not in fact being curbed is the big question, because we do know about these series of hoax bomb calls that have been received by various aircrafts for some time now. Remember, we are not just talking about one or two in number. We are talking about threats to aircrafts which have gone up to the tune of 200, more than 150 threats in the last 2 weeks alone. And that is something that has led to this particular meeting, a high-profile meeting, which had all these stakeholders virtually attending. My colleague Payal has all the details from that virtual meet with the stakeholders and also the airline authorities. Payal, what are you learning has happened at this meeting? Other than pulling up Twitter or social media platform X for that matter, what else are we in fact learning from this meeting?
Well, as far as the security and the entire apparatus around that is concerned, multiple level meetings have taken place with the DGCA, of course, with the Ministry of Civil Aviation, with the Civil Aviation Minister itself. But, the kind of panic that is being created, often using social media, posts, etc., is something which, of course, the government expects the intermediaries to actually act in a responsible manner, and that's the reason they're given to understand that Twitter was pulled up. In particular, Twitter, formerly now X, was pulled up in particular for allowing such posts to actually go, because this is going to have far-reaching impact with panic spreads in a way as well. So only credible and responsible information must be put out is what the government of India has in fact once again conveyed to the social media platforms, that this actually has a lot at stake as far as these airlines and the businesses are concerned. That's also something which is required to be protected. So essentially, at the back of all these multiple episodes coming forth through multiple airlines, facing hoax calls, that is something, of course, the government of India through the Ministry of IT has taken up on a priority basis.
Right. Also, Payal, anything that you are learning that is going to be now a set protocol that will be put in place, if at all there is another threat that in fact is being put out on social media, as has been the worrying trend of late?
Griha, the social media intermediary guidelines are already in place, and anybody who does not comply with those guidelines are liable to, face the prosecution under the law, given the fact that these intermediary guidelines are only available as a buffer as long as, the social media platforms adhere by the rules of the IT. That's something which is amply clear. As far as the hoax calls are really concerned, the minister himself briefed us the other day, essentially saying that a law is under consideration, given the fact that some tweaking has to be done to the existing laws to allow punishment to be made and to in fact allow people to be put on the no-fly list, etc. That's under consideration, and at an appropriate time the government is likely to bring that bill, and the bill is likely to be brought in very shortly. So the government sources have also told us the matter is currently appraised with the Ministry of Law and Justice.
Right. Thank you so much for that, Payal. We'll keep an update and keep an eye on this particular meeting, a virtual meeting that of course had the stakeholders from the airlines and also the social media platform X to look into the concerns, this growing concern and the worrying trend of these hoax calls that have been repeatedly being put across on Twitter. We'll leave it at that. We are going into a very short break, coming right back.